Most people believe manifestation is about repeating affirmations, visualizing harder, or forcing the mind to accept what it wants. But there's a truth almost no one talks about. Real quantum manifestation doesn't begin in your thoughts, it begins in your nervous system. You can say, "I am abundant," 1,000 times. But if your body is locked in stress, fear, or survival mode, the field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your state. And when your state is chaos, what does the universe reflect back? Chaos. Pause and consider this. Your nervous system is the primary receiver of reality. Every sound, sensation, and experience you perceive is filtered through it. When your body is stuck in fight or flight, perception narrows, energy contracts, and you become disconnected from higher frequencies of possibility. Neuroscience confirms this. In Becoming Supernatural, Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that when the body is addicted to stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, it continuously recreates the same predictable past. Why? Because the nervous system believes you are unsafe. And when the body doesn't feel safe, the quantum field has no permission to deliver anything new. This is why so many people struggle. They visualize, they attend workshops, they repeat mantras, yet nothing changes, not because the techniques are wrong, but because the receiver is jammed. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while static overwhelms the signal. You might catch fragments of the music, but never the full song. A stressed nervous system is that static. The field is broadcasting infinite timelines, but your body can't lock onto them. Until you reset it, you'll keep collapsing the same reality again and again. Here's the hidden key. When you regulate your nervous system, when you bring it into coherence, you open a portal few people ever access consciously. Your body shifts from survival into creation. Your heart rate synchronizes with your breath. Your brain waves move from chaos into harmony. Your entire electromagnetic field expands. And in that expanded state, the universe listens differently. Your signals are no longer drowned in noise. They become clear, direct, and powerful. Bruce Lipton, author of The Biology of Belief, teaches that our cells don't respond only to genetics. They respond to environmental signals, including those created by our thoughts and emotions. But here's the deeper truth. When your nervous system is dysregulated, it continuously broadcasts danger. And when your biology is sending fear, no matter what your mind is saying, the field hears only one message: not safe, not ready, not now. This is how people unknowingly block their manifestations. But imagine this instead. What if the sensations you thought were holding you back, the tight chest, racing thoughts, restless energy, weren't signs of failure but invitations to reset? What if every moment of overwhelm was the universe whispering, "Pause, breathe, align, open the portal again"? Because in quantum mechanics, before a particle shifts into a new state, it enters uncertainty, a liminal space where it can become anything. Your nervous system does the same. Right before a breakthrough, it wavers. And if you know how to meet it, you can turn that moment of instability into the doorway to your quantum leap. So stay with me, because in this video I'm not just going to tell you why your nervous system is the portal to miracles. I'm going to show you how to reset it, how to move from survival to creation, how to step out of the noise and into coherence. And once you feel that shift, you'll never approach manifestation the same way again, because it was never about how much effort you put in, but about how deeply you regulate the field inside of you. This is where the real miracles begin. Science has been whispering to us something mystics have known for centuries. Your nervous system is not just biological hardware. It is a gateway, an antenna, a transmitter of your interaction with the quantum field. In neuroscience, we know that the autonomic nervous system has two primary states: sympathetic, the stress response, fight or flight, and parasympathetic, the rest, repair, and creative response. Most people spend their entire lives stuck in the first state. Their bodies are flooded with stress hormones. Their perception is narrowed to threat detection, and their energy field collapses inward. This is survival, and survival locks you out of creation. But here, where quantum mechanics enters the story. In physics, coherence is the foundation of powerful phenomena. When photons or particles are coherent, they move in harmony, creating laser beams, superconductors, and other highly efficient states. Incoherence, on the other hand, scatters energy in all directions. Your body and consciousness behave the same way. A dysregulated nervous system is incoherence. Your thoughts go one way, your emotions another, your body signals danger, and your intentions are lost in the noise. The quantum field does not respond to incoherence. It mirrors back chaos. Dr. Joe Dispenza has demonstrated in countless workshops and studies that when people shift their nervous system into coherence, often measured through heart rate variability and brainwave synchronization, they spontaneously experience what most would call miracles. Spontaneous healing, sudden opportunities, shifts in relationships. Why? Because the field is not responding to desperate thoughts, but to the coherent electromagnetic signal radiating from a regulated body. The nervous system, when balanced, becomes a conductor, not static. Let's look deeper. Your vagus nerve, sometimes called the wandering nerve, is the primary highway of parasympathetic activation. When activated through breathwork, meditation, or even intentional awareness, it signals to your body that you are safe. And safety is the foundation of expansion. In safety, your brain shifts from high beta waves of stress into alpha and theta, the very states connected to creativity, intuition, and deep connection with the field. These brain states are not random. They are measurable frequencies of resonance, aligning you with realities beyond survival. Quantum physics adds another layer. According to John Wheeler's participatory universe theory, reality only collapses into form when observed. But what happens when your observation is filtered through fear? You collapse realities that match fear. And when your observation comes from coherence, you collapse realities that match abundance, joy, and expansion. Your nervous system is literally the lens through which you observe, the regulator that determines what frequency you're tuned to when you look into the field. Think of it this way: if your body is in stress, your signal to the field is scrambled. You might be visualizing abundance, but your heart rate is screaming, "I am unsafe." The universe doesn't hear your words, it hears your vibration, and vibration is always more honest than thought. This is why Joe Dispenza often says you can't think your way into a new reality. You must feel your way there. And feeling is impossible to fake when your nervous system is dysregulated. But here's the extraordinary opportunity. You don't need years of study to begin shifting this. Simple, intentional practices that calm the nervous system have been shown to unlock coherence almost instantly. Slow, rhythmic breathing, heart-focused meditation, gratitude practices that literally shift brain chemistry. Bruce Lipton reminds us that when cells are not in defense, they switch to growth. Your nervous system works the same way. When it feels safe, it grows, expands, and opens. That openness is the exact state the quantum field requires to deliver new realities. So pause and reflect. How much of your life has been spent trying to manifest from stress? How many times did you repeat affirmations while your body was locked in tension, your shoulders tight, your breath shallow? Can you see now why it didn't work? It wasn't that the universe ignored you. It was that your nervous system blocked the signal. Reset the system, and suddenly the field responds, not slowly but instantly, because coherence is faster than effort. And here's the most empowering part. When you shift your nervous system, you're not just regulating your biology, you're reprogramming your relationship with the field itself. You're telling the universe, "I am safe, I am open, I am ready." And the field, like a mirror, reflects it back in kind. That's not just spirituality, that's quantum science in action. Now that you understand why your nervous system is the bridge between you and the quantum field, let's move from theory into practice. The great misunderstanding most people have is that manifestation is about thinking harder, visualizing longer, or repeating affirmations with more intensity. But the truth is much simpler. The state of your nervous system determines whether those intentions ever leave your body as a coherent signal. If you want to reset your reality, you must first reset your system, and you can do this faster than you think. Let's start with the foundation, breath. In neuroscience, breath is the only system that can be both automatic and consciously regulated. That means it's your direct access point to the autonomic nervous system. Studies show that slow, rhythmic breathing, about 5 to 6 breaths per minute, naturally increases vagal tone, activating your parasympathetic state. But here, where quantum manifestation comes in. When you breathe this way with intention, you're not just calming your body, you're signaling the field with coherence. You're literally telling the universe, I am safe, I am aligned, I am ready. Here's a simple exercise inspired by Joe Dispenza's meditations and validated by neuroscience. Close your eyes, inhale slowly for 5 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 7. On the inhale, imagine pulling energy up from the base of your spine toward your heart. On the exhale, release any tension, doubt, or fear into the field. Do this for at least 3 minutes. What you're doing is more than relaxation. You're synchronizing heart and brain rhythms, creating what the HeartMath Institute calls heart-brain coherence. In this state, the electromagnetic field around your heart becomes ordered, powerful, and broadcast-ready. The second step is emotional priming. Your nervous system is deeply wired to respond to emotion, not logic. Gratitude, love, and joy are not just nice feelings. They are high-frequency states that literally reset your neurochemistry. When you intentionally generate gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitters that signal safety to the body. This reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and shifts your entire physiology into coherence. But here, the key, you must feel it as real. Don't just think, I am grateful. Flood your body with the sensation of already receiving. That feeling is what the field translates into form. The third step is intentional stillness. This may feel counterintuitive because we live in a culture that idolizes doing. But quantum creation does not come from action, it comes from being. After your breathwork and emotional priming, sit in silence for a few minutes. Observe without needing to control. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network, the part of the brain active when you're not focused outward but inward. In this space, old neural patterns begin to quiet and new ones have the chance to form. It's in this stillness that the quantum field locks in your new signal. And here, where science and spirituality converge beautifully, quantum physics tells us that until an observation is made, particles exist in superposition, multiple states at once. Your nervous system, when reset, becomes the observer that collapses the reality of abundance, health, or love into form. But if your system is stressed, fragmented, or incoherent, you collapse the same old patterns. The reset practice ensures that every observation you make from this state is charged with coherence, making manifestation not just possible, but inevitable. Many people underestimate this because it looks too simple. They ask, can just breathing and feeling gratitude really change my life? The answer is not only yes, but science confirms it. Dr. Richard Davidson at the University of Wisconsin has shown that even short-term meditation alters brain structure and function. The amygdala, the fear center, shrinks, while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and awareness, thickens. In other words, your brain rewires itself to stop reacting from fear and start creating from vision. And all of that begins with nervous system regulation. Now let's elevate this even further. In mysticism, the body has always been seen as the temple through which spirit expresses. In the quantum model, the body is not just a vessel, it's the transmitter. When you align breath, heart, and mind, you are not just calming yourself. You are literally becoming a broadcast tower for your higher self. You are sending a coherent, laser-like frequency into the quantum field. And because the field cannot ignore coherence, it mirrors it back. That's not theory, that's physics. So pause and consider, how often have you tried to manifest from a scattered, anxious, survival-driven state? And can you see now why it never worked? Resetting the nervous system isn't optional, it is the first step. And once you've experienced the shift, once you've felt your body drop into coherence, you'll never want to manifest from stress again. Because you'll finally understand the nervous system is not just biology, it is the portal. Here's the paradox. Most people think their manifestation isn't working because they're not visualizing enough, not affirming enough, not meditating long enough. But the truth is their nervous system is simply overriding every intention with signals of stress, fear, and survival. Remember, the quantum field doesn't listen to your words. It listens to your frequency. And your nervous system is the generator of that frequency. If it's incoherent, the field receives static. So how do you know if your nervous system is blocking your manifestation? Let's look at the signs. The first sign is constant urgency. If you often feel like time is running out, like you must get your manifestation now or it will never happen, that's your sympathetic nervous system in overdrive. Urgency is survival mode. And in survival, your body is designed to run, fight, or freeze, not to create. Neuroscience shows that when cortisol floods the body, the prefrontal cortex shuts down, limiting imagination and intuition. So even if you visualize, your body is radiating the opposite signal. I don't have it yet. I'm in danger. The quantum field reflects that. The second sign is overthinking the how. Have you ever asked for something and then immediately tried to figure out every possible way it could happen? That's not strategy, that's your nervous system scanning for threats. It's your brain's predictive coding running old patterns to keep you safe. But here's the irony. By obsessing over the how, you're actually signaling doubt. You're telling the field, I don't trust the path. And the field can only mirror back mistrust. The third sign is emotional volatility. You set your intention one day, and the next you're consumed by fear, doubt, or anger. This emotional roller coaster is not a sign you're broken. It's simply your nervous system flickering between old survival patterns and your new desired state. But if left unchecked, these fluctuations create incoherence. Instead of sending a clear, laser-like signal to the quantum field, you send a mixed frequency. One moment abundance, the next scarcity, and the field responds with mixed results. The fourth sign is body tension. Manifestation is not only in the mind, it's in the body. If your shoulders are tight, your jaw is clenched, or your chest feels heavy, that's your nervous system holding onto survival. Joe Dispenza teaches that the body is the subconscious mind. If the body doesn't believe it's safe, no amount of mental intention will override it. Your tension is broadcasting, I'm not free yet. And the field simply mirrors that state. The fifth sign is resistance to stillness. If sitting in silence feels unbearable, that's a clear indicator your nervous system is dysregulated. In quantum terms, silence is the portal. It's the moment when you step out of the old timeline and into possibility. But if your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, silence feels threatening. That's why so many people avoid meditation, not because they can't do it, but because their body doesn't feel safe enough to let go. Now here's the empowering truth. These signs are not failures. They are signals. They are your nervous system's way of showing you exactly where the shift is needed. When you become aware of them, you stop fighting yourself and start regulating yourself. Awareness itself is the first step to coherence. As Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. So let me ask you, which of these signs do you recognize in your own journey? Do you feel the urgency, the overthinking, the tension, the roller coaster of emotions? If yes, that's not a setback, it's your invitation. It means you are standing right at the edge of a quantum reset. Leave your comment with the phrase, I choose coherence over chaos. When you write it, you're not just typing words, you're sending a quantum declaration, a signal that you're ready to move from survival into creation. And now stay with me, because in the next phase I'm going to show you how to transform these exact blocks into your launch pad, turning nervous system dysregulation into your clearest sign that manifestation is closer than you think. What if the very thing you've been resisting, the nervous system dysregulation, the emotional turbulence, the tension in your body, was not your enemy but your doorway? This is where most people misunderstand the process. They think regulation means perfection. They believe that to manifest, they must become endlessly calm, blissful, and unshaken. But that's not the truth. In fact, the quantum shift often begins at the exact moment you become aware of your dysregulation. The chaos is not blocking you, it's signaling you. It's saying, you are ready to evolve beyond this pattern. In neuroscience, there's a principle called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. But here, the key, rewiring doesn't happen when you're in autopilot. It happens at the edges, when you notice the old response and choose a new one. So when your nervous system throws up old fear, old urgency, or old tension, that's not failure. That's the window of plasticity. That's when your brain is the most malleable. Joe Dispenza describes this as the teachable moment, when the body presents the old program, and you consciously install the new one by choosing coherence instead of chaos. Quantum physics mirrors this idea. Before a particle collapses into one state, it hovers in superposition, multiple possibilities at once. Your nervous system dysregulation is like that superposition. You're flickering between the old self and the new self. If you collapse into fear, you reinforce the old timeline. But if, in that very moment of flicker, you breathe, regulate, and choose coherence, you collapse into the higher reality. Dysregulation, therefore, is not an obstacle. It is the raw material of transformation. Think of it this way. The tremble in your body, the racing thoughts, the rapid heartbeat, these are just energy. Unorganized, chaotic energy. Energy that wants direction. And when you redirect it into coherence through breath, awareness, and intention, you transmute survival into creation. This is alchemy at the nervous system level. Instead of running from the chaos, you harvest it as fuel. That's why so many mystics and teachers say the obstacle is the path. They weren't speaking in metaphor. They were describing the mechanics of quantum creation. But here's the subtle art. You don't fight dysregulation with more resistance. You don't say, I shouldn't feel this fear, or I must stop this anxiety because that doubles the incoherence. Instead, you recognize, this is the signal. This is the test. This is the field giving me one more chance to prove my new frequency. The moment you reframe the discomfort as proof of progress, the energy shifts instantly. Stress transforms into opportunity. Fear becomes evidence that you are on the threshold of something greater. Let's make this practical. Imagine you're about to have a conversation that triggers old fears of rejection. Your chest tightens, your breath shortens, your mind spins. Instead of spiraling, you pause, you breathe slowly into coherence. You place your hand on your heart, signaling safety to your nervous system. You say, I am safe, I am whole, I am creating from love. In that moment, you're not escaping the dysregulation, you're transmuting it, and the field responds. The conversation flows differently. Opportunities arise. You've shifted timelines not by forcing, but by choosing coherence at the exact moment of chaos. Bruce Lipton in The Biology of Belief explains that cells don't thrive in stress. They only grow in safety. Your nervous system operates the same way. When you create safety internally, even in the middle of dysregulation, you signal growth, expansion, and openness. That's the frequency the quantum field responds to, not perfection, not the absence of discomfort, but your ability to create safety within the storm. This is why the ancients spoke of the dark night of the soul as a prelude to awakening. The breakdown precedes the breakthrough. In modern language, nervous system dysregulation precedes its reset. The discomfort is not proof you're failing. It's proof you're rewiring. It means your old identity is dissolving and the new one is taking hold. So let me ask you directly. The next time you feel fear, doubt, or tension, will you run from it, or will you recognize it as your doorway? The choice you make in that moment is not small. It's quantum. It determines which timeline collapses into your now. Take a deep breath right here, right now. Because what I'm about to share with you is not just theory. It is a practice you can use immediately to reset your nervous system and open your field to manifestation. You don't need hours of meditation, elaborate rituals, or complex strategies. Remember what we've learned throughout this journey. The quantum responds to simplicity, coherence, and presence, and the nervous system is the key portal. Hear how you do it. Pause when the old program activates. You'll know it because your body reacts, your chest tightens, your breath shortens, your thoughts race. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Simply pause and notice. This is the old me trying to run the show. Awareness alone breaks the cycle. Shift your breath into coherence. Inhale slowly through your nose for about 5 to 6 seconds. Hold gently. Exhale for the same length. Feel your breath moving like waves. This rhythm signals your nervous system that you are safe. Safety is the foundation of creation. Anchor into a new identity with I am. Place your hand over your heart and declare with presence, I am safe. I am whole. I am connected. I am already living my desired reality. Don't just repeat words, embody them. Feel them saturating your cells as if your body itself is rewriting the program. Surrender and let the field respond. Once you've shifted, stop controlling. Don't overthink. Don't demand results. Simply carry that coherence into your next action, trusting that the field has already rearranged itself in your favor. That's it. This is the nervous system reset that Joe Dispenza calls stepping into the supernatural self. It's not about adding more effort, but about signaling to your body that it no longer belongs to the old reality. And every time you repeat this reset, you stabilize a higher frequency until it becomes your default state. Now let's pull this together. Think of your nervous system as the bridge between biology and the quantum field. When it's dysregulated, the signal you send is fragmented, scattered, incoherent. But when it's reset into coherence, your heart, brain, and body synchronize. That synchronization is like tuning a radio. Suddenly, you are locked onto the frequency of your desired reality. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to chase it or beg for it. You simply become it. That's why those who master coherence often describe manifestations unfolding effortlessly. Opportunities appear, relationships align, healing accelerates. This isn't magic, it's physics. Your biology is entangled with the field. And when your nervous system broadcasts a coherent signal, the field mirrors it back instantly. But here's what most people miss. This isn't a one-time technique. It's a practice, a way of living. You embody a new reality every single day until it becomes who you are. That's where true mastery begins, when coherence is no longer something you do, but something you are. If this message resonated with you and you're ready to go deeper, I've created something powerful to support you. It's called Awaken Your Quantum Power, a guidebook that distills 7 core principles for activating your vibrational field with clarity, coherence, and alignment. This isn't just information. It's a practical roadmap to stabilize your nervous system, embody your higher self, and manifest from a state of deep alignment and precision. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. This is your invitation, because now you understand that manifestation doesn't begin with effort, it begins with coherence. Your nervous system is not just biology, it is your portal to miracles, and every time you reset it, you collapse reality in your favor. So as we close, let this be your new declaration. My nervous system is my portal to miracles. Carry it with you, live it, embody it, because the moment you do, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back. Until we meet in the next video, stay coherent, stay light, and remember, you were never separate from your miracles. You only needed to reset to receive.